Hello everyone, Navinold here. Ghost Story. The story of the ghost began in the territory of Clash of Clans. In one of the most influential clans, they won all the wars, reducing all enemies and capturing all new territories. This was the only clan ruled by two kings, two brothers who did not offend each other. They were like one whole. Their late father, who ruled the clan before them, always told them, "I'm glad that I was able to raise real men. You're great. There were never any disputes between you about money and power. You are really the ones who can continue my work, make the most powerful clan throughout the territory of Clash of Clans. I believe you will succeed. Remember, brother dearest of all." They lived by this principle, won war after war, and distributed gold to the inhabitants of the land, the peasants. They liked to see the happy faces of their people. The most important war with the same giant clan was approaching. The clashes of these giants were to decide who would take the leading position. It is at this time that we are now transported. It's night outside. Two brothers are sitting by the fire and thinking about how they can win this war. What words should be said to their troops so that they rush into battle, how to behave. They sat half the night thinking about these questions and sat half the night just looking at the fire. In the morning, not long before the start of the battle, they hugged and said to each other, "Brother, I have no one dearer than you. We can defeat them." One of the brothers had a girl whom he met literally a week before the war. It was love at first glance. They had the same interests and character. They felt good together. He told his brother to go organize the troops with the right words. "I'll come up later," and I went to her to tell her that he was now leaving for war. He came to his castle. She lived with him on the table. He saw a note, "I can't live like this. Your brother constantly insults me. Yesterday he actually beat me up. I'm sorry I can't do this anymore." He was in shock as he was very angry with his brother. How dare he? He was ready to hit his brother. At that time his brother had already wound up the soldiers, raised his morale, and urgently it was necessary to move forward because on the horizon the troops of the enemy clan ruled by the witch were already visible. He decided not to wait for his brother. He rushed into battle in the hope that his brother would arrive on time. The other brother no longer asked what he would do to his brother for what he did to his girlfriend. He found her in bruises and vengeance not far from the castle. He approached her and said, "Just tell me if it's true or not." She said, "Don't do anything about it. After all, your brother. Shut up, just say yes or no." Yes, he became furious and rushed to the battlefield. On the battlefield, there was no witch of the head of the enemy clan. And then a witch appears out of nowhere. His brother, who was already fighting, rushed to the witch to kill her. He saw that his brother was already running towards him in the distance. He knocked the witch to the ground and was ready to insert his sword into her chest. But he turned around because he heard his brother's cry, "No, I'll kill you." He didn't understand anything. He turned to the witch and saw that she was gone and the princess was lying under his foot. His brother's girlfriend was in complete shock and took his sword away, and at that moment she lowered her sword into his back brother. He killed him and said, "I didn't expect such a bastard from you. You are my brother." The princess stood up and began to dissolve and transform into a witch. His mouth opened. He realized that all this time it was not his princess who was next to him, but a witch. She specially arranged this so that I kill my brother, and so that she can win this war, because without each other we are weak. He screamed with tears in his eyes and shouted, "We will kill them. We will become the best clan. We will press the warriors." He managed to win the war. The losses were colossal. There were literally a few people left. As soon as it was all over, he ran away into the forest. He could not forgive himself for this. My father was constantly flickering before my eyes with those words. "I'm glad that I was able to raise real men. You guys are great. There have never been any disputes between you about money and power. You are really the ones who can continue my work, make the most powerful clan in the entire territory of Clash of Clans. I believe you will succeed. Remember, brother dearest of all." And the sorcerers took the killed brother from the battlefield in order to resurrect him, at least in the form of a ghost. After all, no one could resurrect him so easily, and this is where the great almighty clan fell apart. After all, there were no two brothers. Chaos began to happen. Everyone began to fight with each other, for gold, for lands, and in Itoga, everything collapsed. For a huge number of clans. The brother who fled into the forest eventually returned to Clash of Clans to restore the empire. The ghost forgave his brother, but did not return to him, and decided to become the king of the new world of Clash Royale, which appeared after the great collapse of their clan. I hope you liked this story. In the comments, leave the unit you want to hear a new story about.